It's Jack Ebling's Press Pass Daily on My 18. It's time for Sports Talk with Jack and the panel, including Mike Griffith of M Live, Tom Crawford, co-founder of BitterRivals.com, Graham Couch, State Journal sports columnist, Rico Beard, radio host at Sports 105.1, Joe Rexrow, Free Press sports writer, and Doug Warren, show producer. Now, let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass Daily on My 18. I am joined tonight by my longtime radio partner, Blue Belly Tom. He is the Friday co-host on The Drive with Jack on the Team 92.1 FM. You're home for We Are There Sports Radio, and Tom Crawford, we are there at the Bluegill Grill every Friday afternoon, and we'll be for the next 8 months.
We're back in our comfort zone on the football weekend to kick off a great football weekend. What a football weekend we have coming up, Jack, here in East Lansing.
One of the best that we can remember, and we will be there at Spartan Stadium. You will be in your submarine.
I will not be there.
You'll be in Crawford Indoor Stadium.
I'll be in the earlier part of the day. I'm at the main game. I'm at the varsity game. You're at the JV, right? Or is it the other way around?
I think it might be the other way around this time.
Yeah, the Michigan, Oregon State.
I heard those Michigan tickets for Oregon State are going for $35.
Really?
Yes.
And you would find it out and let me know that on the air, right?
People were complaining to me that they thought that was just a little too much. I don't know. We're going to be back and we're going to preview Oregon MSU. We're going to talk about the University of Michigan, Jim Harbaugh's home debut. We'll talk about the rest of the Big Ten, and we have some housekeeping and some announcements to make too toward the end of the show. But Tom, this is one of those weeks, you know, it's really fall. You've got the NFL starting, high school football. We're going to be very busy tonight on the Power Sweep. We'll be right back here on Press Pass Daily on My 18. Welcome back to Press Pass Daily here on My 18. Time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet, a trusted friend with 101 years in the automobile business. Stop and see Matt, Mark, and Greg on West Grand River in Okemos. They'll take great care of you, as they have on all 5 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go Graf.
Amp Campbell, number 3 at the top of your screen, suffered what many believe to be a catastrophic injury. He's going to make a tackle on Oregon fullback Chris Young. Now watch as Campbell's head is down on impact. That impact broke Campbell's neck. A lot of help from a lot of doctors and trainers and some inspiration from his 3-year-old daughter tonight. Amp Campbell is back on the football field 1 year later.
Point missed just 2 field goals. Officially a 41-yarder, no chance.
Villegas missed this one because of number 3, Amp Campbell, coming from the outside. He forces Villegas to hook it, because if he'd have kicked it straight at where it's supposed to go, he would have blocked the kick. Now watch him. He has to hook the ball, so he would have had the block by Amp Campbell.
1st and 10. Ho Ching. Fumble the football. It's picked up by Amp Campbell. Touchdown Spartans. What a play.
Welcome back to Press Pass Daily here on My 18. You hear Dr. Jerry Punch, Mike Tirico, and Lee Corso on that Thursday night. You remember it well, Tom.
I do. I was at that game by some strange reason. Hot, muggy night, Spartan Stadium. And boy, what a moment for Amp Campbell. Redemption from that injury, coming back from that horrific injury.
Yeah, and Graham Couch did a spectacular piece in the Lansing State Journal about Amp's father, the one who came up here, moved up from Sarasota to tend to his every need while he was in that halo and paralyzed, and then he was assassinated over the summer.
Oh, I know. I couldn't believe that story. So sad.
Horrible. But Amp Campbell now is coaching at Alabama State, and you wonder about the emotion in Spartan Stadium tomorrow night, how much difference that can make, and if that can be a 12th man on the field for Michigan State.
Oh, I think it will. And think about that moment. And then Michigan State's program, that was a pretty good program back then. But think of how far that program has come from that point to this point right now. I mean, this is a much deeper program personnel-wise, and the attention that East Lansing is going to get tomorrow night is going to be off the scale.
We know what happened last year.
We do.
We know that Oregon scored 28 unanswered points second half, wound up winning that game 46-27. What can be different this time other than the fact that Marcus Mariota is gone and Vernon Adams Jr. is the quarterback?
Yeah, and Vernon Adams is much smaller and not quite as quick, so that's a big difference here. But I think Michigan State has got it, and I think they will run the football and take the ball away from Oregon more and occupy possession of the ball, win the possession battle. I think that'll be key to the game. Obviously not turn the ball over. And then when Michigan State's defense is so physical, I think Oregon is in for a rough evening. I'm picking the Spartans. We'll probably talk about that later on.
Yeah, I think we'll do that.
Michigan State to survive.
Give a little prediction. But
yeah.
In terms of the quarterbacks, we know what Vernon Adams did at Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
Prolific passer, kind of taking the Jake Rudock path to a 5th year.
Yeah.
And then Connor Cook. Is it possible that the winning quarterback here is going to be a front runner for the Heisman Trophy?
Well, I think Connor Cook could definitely be in that category. I don't think Vernon Adams has this. I don't think he has it in his DNA to be a candidate. I just don't. I wasn't. I saw a lot of that game, and Connor Cook's got more of the situation where he could run the table and get to the title game, get the playoff, and he could be sitting in New York. Probably
maybe
winning.
Royce Freeman will be a Heisman candidate if he scores 3 more touchdowns.
Well, I tell you what, last year I was really impressed with Royce Freeman as a freshman. Now he's a sophomore and much more mature, and he'll be a tough act to stop for Michigan State.
All right, let's break this down now and give me your score prediction and star of the game.
Okay, the points is going to be crazy. First of all, I'm going to give you a prediction. The game is going to end about 12:05, so it's going to be almost a 4-hour game. I'll start with that. I think Michigan State's going to win this game 43-35.
43-35, 8 points.
8 points. And I think the most valuable player in this game is going to be Connor Cook not making mistakes, not turning the ball. If he takes care of the football, Spartans win.
All right, I have Michigan State tying the game on a last play field goal.
Wow.
Winning 44-41 in overtime. And with a touchdown in overtime after an Oregon field goal, L.J. Scott.
There you go, the freshman.
Number 3 in honor of Amp Campbell.
Oh, storybook.
We'll be back in just a minute. We're going to talk about Michigan football up next on Press Pass Daily.
Thought he managed the game very well. There's no fumble snaps. There was no going the wrong way to make a handoff. Kept the ball off the ground in passing and running situations from the quarterback standpoint. Showed really good courage in the pocket.
No matter how many mistakes we played or made or how many good plays we had, we just kept a level head the whole game. We kept coming back and fighting even harder that next play.
I feel like everybody could have had a better game. A lot of people, like he said, he left 2 plays on the field. I know I left a couple plays on the field. We just got to execute better as a team. When we do that and leave the little plays and plays that could change the game out, and make those plays, then hopefully we have a better outcome than what we did Thursday.
Welcome back to Press Pass Daily here on My 18. It is our Out of the Blue segment. Tom, you know that a stadium is small when there's a play down the sideline and you see people's hands in the middle of the camera well.
It's like a high school stadium. Yeah, in front of the camera. It's on a tripod.
But very even keel, Jim Harbaugh.
Very even.
Doesn't seem like he's upset about what happened. He's going to build on this.
Right. He's got a long-term plan. He sees everything fixable. Jake Rudock is fixable. Jake Rudock is the quarterback at the University of Michigan for the balance of 2015.
Is that fixable?
Yeah, because it wasn't his fault 2 of the 3 times. I mean, that's what the beauty of football is, and you know this, is you've coached the game, is if some guy screws up, I mean, there's 11 guys that don't do their job, then all of a sudden everything unravels, and that's exactly what happened.
When you say Jim Harbaugh has a plan, I believe that, but is it George Perlis' 5-year plan, or is it sooner than that?
It's sooner than that.
Okay.
I told you, they're going to be in the playoff, Jack, in 5 years. Title game. Might not win it, but title game. 5 years.
I'm glad that we can preserve that comment because we can always show it on Press Pass All-Stars in a couple of years. Which we'll
YouTube
do.
somewhere, right?
Yeah. So what has to happen now for the Wolverines after this loss at Utah to make you look brilliant with your prediction of a 10-2 season?
Get that running game going. Got to carve some holes. Get 150 yards. Got to get $150 on the ground against Oregon. They got Oregon State. They got to get 150 against Oregon State, or else they're in serious trouble. I think they will. They might even get 200.
New tailback?
I think tailback, Davian, he's all right. Smith's all right. I mean, they can rotate three quarters. The tailback's not the situation.
But if you don't have a spread offense, and you don't have an option offense, and you don't have a mobile quarterback, don't you need a running back who's better than all right?
Well, Drake Johnson, you've been a big fan, a lot. And he's going to play on Saturday. I'll tell you what, he's a downhill runner, and he's a great kid. He's been a Michigan fan all his life. He'll be the go-to guy once the season gets going here deep in.
If you were in Jim Harbaugh's position, would you be looking at changes on the offensive line? Would you shake it up in any way? Would you take a look at Shane Morris?
No, not Shane Morris. No, I'm not a big fan. I think Rudock is the answer. The offensive line, we're not at practice. Practice is Tuesday and Wednesday. It's 2 days. That's when they hit. That's when you find out. But, I'm sure he's, with Tim Drevno as the O-line coach, I think they're figuring this thing out, and they'll get it working. I have supreme confidence in Harbaugh and this coaching staff.
I know you said 10-2.
Yes.
But if I offered you an 8-3 start, 8 wins, heading into the Ohio State game, would you take it?
No.
You would not take it?
I'm sticking with 10-2. Yep. Because I know the Utah game, that didn't work out for me, but the Penn State game now will work out for me.
So you're just subbing victories into this thing,
I don't deviate. If I'm going to go out and declare a certain record, I don't, go flapping in the wind on this stuff week one.
We should mention a couple of other developments for the University of Michigan. Big news on the basketball recruiting front. Xavier Simpson.
Yes, Xavier Simpson. Yeah, who's a 4-star point guard. Yeah, absolutely. That was a good get for the Wolverines.
They told Xavier Simpson, hey, you're our number 2 guy, but if we don't get the number 1 guy.
It's just Cassius Winston?
Just Cassius Winston. And then we'll take you. And he was all set to go to Illinois. And apparently he said, whoa, he went up to Ann Arbor, loved it. It's close to Lima, Ohio. So he's going to be a Wolverine. I've seen him play. He's a very good player.
Just like high school. If the first girl you ask says no, you just go round 2.
I also want to let everyone know that the reason that the spray paint on Sparty last night, people were wondering what that was. All of the planes that would normally fly over East Lansing were occupied. Couldn't get one, so they had to go to spray paint. We'll be right back talking about the Big Ten up next on Press Pass Daily.
Doesn't mean you can stop him. Henry breaking free, heading to the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama. Henry. A burst up the middle. Derrick Henry. His second touchdown tonight.
3-man rush. Mangum, all kinds of time. Steps into the throw, in the wind, down to the goal line, and caught! Touchdown, BYU!
Jones has double the number of carries so far as Elliott looks to throw. Loops it downfield. Braxton Miller makes the catch. Shakes a man and scores. Miller in the shotgun. Gets free on the edge. Braxton Miller is loose. Spin move. Miller headed for the end zone.
Welcome back to Press Pass Daily here on My 18. Time for the big picture, talking about Big Ten football. Tom Crawford is an embarrassment of riches in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, my God. Instead of showing that highlights of Derek Green, just show Braxton Miller 4 or 5 times in a row. I'd be happier doing that. Come on. That was a phenomenal play.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a fluid runner do a spin move and not lose stride like that?
Not very often. I've
game?
seen a couple, not many. I saw Paul Warfield do that in Michigan Stadium. First time I ever saw it.
Yeah.
Not very often. I have to ask you, in light of all of the talk about J.T. Barrett, Cardell Jones, I thought it was going to be J.T. Barrett.
Me too. I was shocked.
Ezekiel Elliott, a lot of people penciling him in at the Heisman induction in New York, and people saying Joey Bosa, the number 1 overall draft pick in the NFL next year. Is it possible the best player in the Big Ten for a 3rd time could be Braxton Miller?
Oh, I think so. I mean, it's just, as far as just watching somebody play football, he's a phenomenal athlete. He's making a really difficult transition. He talked about this on the BTN on that feature, Scarlet and Gray. He says, I didn't know wideouts had to go. They run those deep routes, those seam routes down to Ashmar. Got to sprint back, and he's adjusting to that. Look how he's adjusted from quarterback to wide receiver. It's amazing what an athlete Braxton Miller is.
And he probably would be one of the 2 or 3 best running backs in any conference.
Yeah. He's greedy.
We know what he can do out of the Wildcat formation, the shotgun, whatever, however they want to use him. And we've given him a nickname. You don't play a lot of video games, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, for people who do, the spin move on Xbox is the B button.
Okay.
So because he's Braxton, we're calling him Braxton hit the B button Miller.
Okay.
And some people are starting to get catch on to that.
But the problem is now for Braxton Miller in the Heisman hunt, he's really not going to have big-time games for such a long period of time. You got to go to, what, November 21st, Michigan State, before he's really going to be tested under the lights. That might hurt him.
Well, that just means there's more time to play that spin move. They'll just keep playing it all fall until they get Michigan State and Michigan.
Back to back.
And that'll be tough. Those Ohio State-Michigan games have been close.
They have been. Michigan will bring it strong. Michigan State, that's a pick'em game in Columbus on the 21st.
Want to talk about 2 other Big Ten games last week and then look ahead. Alabama pulling away from Wisconsin, and it looked like Derrick Henry might be a legitimate Heisman
he's
candidate.
A stud bucket. Yeah, he's good. He's really a big-time player. We saw that last year at the end of the season as Frost year. He's just a load.
Changed his number.
Yeah, number 2 now.
Yeah, number 2 was 37, but now he looks even better than he did a year ago. Looks like Adrian Peterson on those highlights.
He does.
And then what happened with the Nebraska-BYU game?
Oh, my word.
And you have been telling people, anyone who would listen, you can't rush 3 guys.
You cannot rush. You got to put 4. Some people think 5.
Yeah.
You know, and put the, because if you give a quarterback time to throw the javelin, as I call it, outside the pocket,
look at these Nebraska defenders. There are 5 of them that just stand there.
They're behind
in the
him.
back. I don't know what they're waiting for. They thought maybe he had to get out of the end zone to make it a touchdown.
Nobody got in front of him, which is so critical. And you see this, I mean, this brings back memories for me, bad memories, nightmarish memories of 1993 and the Colorado-Michigan game.
Other than Oregon, Michigan State, and obviously the Michigan game, what are you looking forward to in the Big Ten this week? Which game stands out?
Minnesota, Colorado State. That's a credibility game. That's a key game. Also, Iowa at Iowa State.
Right.
And then they're not big wins, but there could be bad losses. They got to take care of business for the Big Ten.
Both road games, and one thing about Iowa and Iowa State, the road team has won the last 3 times.
Right. Iowa's due for this one.
We'll be right back with our final segment coming up. It's Press Pass Daily here on My 18. Welcome back to Press Pass Daily here on My 18. Time for our Lansing's Best segment. Tom Crawford, one of our best moments doing radio and television together has been this show.
Absolutely.
And this is our last episode of Press Pass Daily, episode 269. First of all, I have to dispel a couple of rumors. We have not been extradited to Mexico. We are going to be here on the radio every Friday out at the Bluegill Grill, 3 to 6. We're going to be here on a new set.
Yes.
Just over there. We'll be there for Press Pass All-Stars Sunday nights, 11 to 12. And in about a month, we have a very exciting announcement, something that's never been done here before in Mid-Michigan.
That's right.
Can't tell you all about that, but stay tuned, and drivewithjack.com will tell you all about that. Tom, memories, highlights about what's happened here the last year and 2 weeks?
When you weren't here, actually, when I was doing with Rico and I got through that, we didn't punch each other. That was a big breakthrough. Yeah,
that was a great show, by the way.
That was a huge accomplishment, though, that we just didn't go fisticuffs on that one. That was heated.
I have to thank some of the people who made this possible. First of all, Gary Baxter.
Oh, absolutely.
For believing in us from day one. He's a guy who really helped us get going on Press Pass All-Stars and gave us this chance. Now Scripps has taken over, and they want to go in a different direction with a women's station. Also want to thank Christine Melzer of My 18 and Kip Bonet. Want to thank all the technical staff, Scott, Will, Dylan, Mike, and best floor directors you could ever have, Joe, Kevin, Madison, and tremendous response from the audience. We're not leaving. We're just going away for a little while, and we'll be back in another venue. But catch us on Sunday nights, 11 to 12, on Press Pass All-Stars. And don't forget, you can see us every Friday night. If you want to throw something, you can see us Fridays over at the Bluegill Grill. Have a great weekend, everyone.